an instructional lead teacher helping 3 of my colleagues flip their classrooms. And I flipped my classroom last year. Can
Hi. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I'll introduce myself. I'm Ben Brazel from Wisconsin. I have not flipped yet, but I'm very interested in doing it, so I thought I'd come in here and learn from everyone.
If you are not comfortable with talking, you can add your information to the chat on the side if you like. And I'm going to kind of download that document at the end and put it in a Google form for all of us to have.
Okay.
Sounds great.
I'm Tamara Watson. I teach in South Carolina. I'm just at the beginning of flipping. I'm looking for techniques, ideas.
I'll go. I'm Mary Morgan Ryan. I'm a school librarian from the western suburbs of Chicago, and our 4th and 5th grade have just gone one-to-one. So I work a lot with them. I'm looking to support them in flipping if they want to.
I can go now that I'm organized. I'm Sharon, and I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm slowly starting to flip my classroom. Next year I'm getting tablets, so it will be a lot easier. So we're actually getting computers in the classrooms and everything. So it's hard because we don't have a lot of tech right now, but we're still getting quite a bit of funding next year for it. So it'll be a lot easier to flip my classroom.
We're in a one-to-one situation, but I think I did some kind of have-to flipping, in-class flipping at the end of the school year. I lost my father and missed 2 weeks of school, so
sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Well, everything happens for a reason, and it was a blessing that I was able to go ahead and get started with my students. We flipped at the end of the school year just because I needed them to have instruction for the 2 weeks that I wasn't there. So we my goal is to start day 1 this year. We have a one-to-one iPad situation, but we're not take home, so it will be in-class flipping for right now. Only about 10% of our students have access to devices and internet outside of school. How many of you are part of the Flip Learning Network?
Me.
I think I am.
And I think, Timonius, did you put that?
Yeah.
He put the link over on the chat for the Flip Learning, which is really, really, really helpful.
Have any of you been to FlipCon?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, I haven't been.
Now you can also, if you miss FlipCon, you can still access the virtual sessions for a fee. It's on the Flip. I can put the link on there, I think.
Please do.
But they archived many of the sessions there, so you can go in and still catch them if you wanted to. So
awesome.
I don't think it was that expensive, as I recall.
Right.
I looked at that.
Right. And I'm wondering if they reduced it even further, or they kept it the same because now the conference is over. I don't know how much the fee is for the archive sessions, but I know it's on the website.
Okay.
Did you say you're posting the website?
Yes, I will.
Let's see. I'll put it up there. Let me see if I can find it.
Why don't we start with tools maybe that we could use for screencasting? That would be a neat way to start for those of you who are brand new and looking for where to begin. Just take a few minutes and just talk about various tools that would be an option for you.
Well, I use Camtasia by TechSmith.
Okay.
To me, it's the best product out there. I mean, if you want that picture-in-picture feel versus just the voice, to me, it's the best way to go. It's like your garage band for your video because you can edit, the sound, the quality, the annotations, the transitions. You can put all those components. Now, if you just want something really simple, they also have Snagit, which is a screen capture tool. It's like the low end of Camtasia. It's basically a one-shot, screencasting tool. That one costs about $50, but you can do a free download for it. Or some people use Screencast-O-Matic, but I like Camtasia. But for the cost, I mean, I think it's for a Mac, it's like $80-$90 or something, somewhere around there. And for a PC, it's a little bit more. But Snagit is a good feature because you can take pictures, but then you can also record the screen. It has some other functions on there that are pretty good for screencasting. So I would look into those two. Or like somebody posted Screencast-O-Matic, that's a good one too.
I just had my kids use on my Macs a QuickTime, and they actually made Google website. They made how-to websites, Google Docs, Google presentations, Google Drawings. So each of my kids used QuickTime, and they did their voice, and they created how-to videos, and they found it pretty easy. They're grade 3.
Which one was that? What did you say?
They were grade 3 students, but they found it really easy to use, and they enjoyed it. They enjoyed making their own screencast things. So they did like how-to videos, and they enjoyed it. And then we sort of published it on a YouTube site, and then they're publishing it on the board website too for the kids. But they had so much fun doing it. They did it. I showed them how to do it, and then they did it on their own.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say 2 new ones that I use, and you're able to use your own videos or pull other videos too. Edpuzzle is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I love Edpuzzle. And TouchCast is a new one for me too. I've been playing around with TouchCast a bit. But I like both of those because you can embed the questions right in with the video.
Right.
So that students can't move past your questions until they've answered or responded to them. So both of those are kind of tools for that piece.
Are they free sites, the Edpuzzle? Never heard
Both of them are, yep.
Nice.
Edpuzzle is free.
You know what
I actually used to start with, because it wasn't free, but it Explain Everything, and that's just because I had to decide to do it at right on the spot. And we already had it on the iPad. We have Promethean software, so I was able to take my flip charts, turn them into a PDF, and then upload that into Edpuzzle. Explain Everything to create my videos. And then I took that video and embedded it into Edpuzzle, which I love Edpuzzle too because, like Jen said, you can embed questions. They can't fast forward. They can't go further.
Yeah.
It gives you a grade.
Yeah.
And you can also see where the students are. If you happen to be online with them at the same time, you can see how much they've done, how far they've gotten. They could say, "I finished," and you can say, "No, you've only done 8%, and you have a 6." So.
And before I started using Edpuzzle, one of the things I would do just to make my life easier is I would just create a Google form and take my video and embed my video into my Google form and have the questions right below the video. So then when the kids answer the questions, it comes back to you as a spreadsheet. Then you can see the questions that they answered. You can separate it by mod, by class. So that made my life a whole lot easier in terms of having to, kind of look at where the kids are and look at the misconceptions they had to address those when they came back to class the next day. So I kind of like that.
And if you're using that form too, then to use Flubaroo with it as an
absolutely.
add-on to self-grade, exactly. I mean, that's just it makes everything so seamless and easy.
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
And
sorry.
Go ahead. I'm
talking with the Flubaroo, the grading thing. I just saw something yesterday. Super Quiz is an add-on for spreadsheets that's supposed to do the grading thing, but also give more feedback.
Quiz?
Super Quiz, I believe it was. Yeah.
Okay.
So as long as we're talking about that I can add to it. I don't know all the technology for the video stuff, but I can add that one to you.
Also, too, ed.ted has some really cool animated videos that you can flip and change and embed your multiple choice, your true and false, open-ended discussion questions. I like that site because it has, the kids love the animated features of the videos, and then you can also add your own questions to the videos too. So that might be something you want to look into. I'll put that on there.
We use my team. We use vocabulary a lot too, just for like those activating prior knowledge videos because they're short, they're music, the kids love them. So if you say you just want to get started with just a couple of few things, vocabulary actually has some of their videos on YouTube. And some of their videos are free. There is a price. I mean, I think it's like $10, $12 a month maybe. But if you just want to get started or just pull a few different videos from other places, you're not comfortable making your own, that would be a neat place to start, I think. And if you want to move on, why don't we talk about, which is my biggest question, what happens after the video? Because, the video really isn't, we put a lot of emphasis on it, but it's what happens after that really makes the magic happen. So if anybody would like to share their experiences with that or their ideas. Don't everybody talk all at once.
I know. I'm trying not to dominate the conversation. I was trying to wait to see what everybody else says.
Well, I don't have anything to really add because I'm not flipping, but that was a question in an article I was just reading the other day that the emphasis has been on the video, what happens when they get back in class, and that's kind of where I've been sitting is how do I get started with that part of it, because I can do the video thing, no problem. It's a matter of now, what are you doing when they come back into class? What are some of the activities and ideas you guys are using? I guess what I'm hoping to get to.
Well, I mean, for me, flipping my classroom wasn't just because this is like the new thing everybody was doing. I had a group of kids. I teach talented and gifted students. But the problem was my gifted students weren't achieving to the level that I thought they could, and it was primarily because the projects, the homework, the things that they would normally do at home, they didn't have support at home. And even though gifted students aren't smart, they're not necessarily intrinsically motivated all the time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take what I could control and put it in my hands. So all those projects, all those extension activities they would normally do at home, now they do in class. So to answer your question, that's what I've shifted in my classroom. It's created this awesome environment because now I'm not just up in front teaching all the time because I flipped it and they can go refer to the videos. Now my instruction is very individualized, it's one-on-one, it's self-paced, so that's the kind of environment I do right now. So like, for example, we had a Shakespeare unit, and so I had these Shakespeare quests that the kids were engaged in, and they had to choose between all these different quest-based activities that were basically an extension on Taming of the Shrew that we had read. So that's what they're doing in class. So some of it was project-based learning. We did Genius Hour, kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of different things I normally would not have time for, that now I have time for, and they don't have to do it as homework, but they do it in class. So.
Okay.
I can tell you for myself, projects like actually more creation to show that they've understood the material, telegamies, using Animoto to just kind of create. But I also kind of set up stations for me where things that they have a lot of difficulty with for us is research, vocabulary. So set up stations where they're playing games or creating things that give them practice. With Greek and Latin roots, you just have to study them. So a lot of it was, stations with them just practicing or creating things using Greek and Latin roots. My social studies partner does exactly what Timonius does because we're 6th grade. She has like world history, so the students create, they have barter day, so they create something to barter with each other with. They have kite day, they do like the Roman Olympics, and so instead of the information, her giving them the information, or them, reading all of that, then they have time to actually create the project that they were supposed to do at home that they don't normally do because Just the support is not there. You know, nobody's gonna help them make a kite out of garbage bag at home,
Right.
or that she's or hers is definitely more project based, where mine is more.
You okay, Ben? You okay?
Anyone else?
I know for me, I am sort of relatively new to flipping, and I had some horrible experiences in my high school English classroom because I made horrendous videos and was expecting students to watch horrendous videos at home. And when I started thinking about instead, like, why am I creating these, and used more of an explore, flip, apply model for teaching, I had much, much better results. And I think it was because I attempted in my first flip to do exactly what I was doing in the classroom with the videos outside of class, and that didn't work because half of my students would watch the first, couple of videos, and then I lost everybody. But once I started to think about using videos, and actually not just videos, but my materials outside of class as a way for them to start the questioning and the inquiry process and bring questions to class the next day, then my class becomes a workshop model for writing. And the things that my kids struggle with, which generally are inferencing questions and reading comprehension and how to write well, I can now do that in class, and I actually have time to do writing conferences, which I have never had time to do in class, and so that has been a big difference for me.
Can you give an example of one of the things that you did?
Sure. One of the things that worked well, not one of the bad things that was, but one of the things that, like, for example, I teach 10th grade English. And one of our units has students exploring sort of the basics of literary criticism. So rather than me standing up in front of the class and going, okay, this is what literary criticism is, I ended up setting it up. I broke the students into groups, sort of varied them based on sort of their skill strengths. Each group took a different form of literary criticism. They had to do the exploration. They had to find all of the key terms. They put together a presentation. They had to put together a video, which they then shared to our class website. And that's how we did sort of an explore. And then once the kids put together the video about, Marxist approach or whatever their approach was, we as a class went through and did corrections then. And that was where I sort of intervened, was making corrections or additions to whatever it was that they had done their presentation on. And students then took notes on those pieces. So they kind of led the exploration, and then the apply piece came in when we started to read the Kite Runner. They had to use those presentations, go back to the videos, pull out the key terms, pull out the questions which we had talked about, and apply it to our actual reading.
Thank you.
Does anyone have a suggestion of how to like I've tried to do a lot of projects in my own classroom, but now I'm trying to help others change their classroom over. Has anyone ever tried to help other teachers? Does that make sense? Like how to guide other teachers and show them how successful it is, like especially teachers who are hesitant. Like I'm trying to not change, but I guess show the success, but it's hard when some teachers just don't want to see it. Has anyone been successful at that?
Well, I mean, I can't say I've been successful. I'm actually at that place like right now, so I'll let you know how it goes. There's 3 teachers that are interested in flipping. They see the benefits of it. So now, like during the summer, I created this massive email to them explaining, this is what you do, and here are some resources. And I, gave them access to our principal paid for the FlipCon presentations. So we're just now getting the ball rolling. And now what I'm going to do is set up Google Hangouts for them during the summer, because my thing is, it's better to start making your videos during the summertime than it is trying to get the ball rolling in the fall.
You have more time.
So, right, you have more time. So, you screw up, it's not so, oh my God, I gotta get this video out by next Tuesday or whatever. But so that's where we're in those beginning stages right now. So I'll keep you posted in terms of how it goes.
Could you share parts of your email that you did? And
yeah, if you give me your email, I can shoot you, because I put on a lot of these resources in the email, and so yeah, I can share No problem.
Sure, I'll DM you because I know
Yeah,
you
do
have me
that.
on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it's hard.
Yeah.
I think as you're talking about getting other people involved in this is set benchmarks or goals and stuff. It's not that they're necessarily
Yeah.
going to fit there in a classroom every
Right.
lesson in
Right.
that first year. And I think that's
Right.
what intimidates some people is they might see you who have done this
Right.
for a year, a couple years and stuff, and you're doing a lot of it. Now they're saying, well, I can't do that. That's too much.
Yeah.
We'll say
And
try one lesson.
right. Or I mean, the other thing is you can go with the blended model. You know, it doesn't like you're basically alluding to. You don't have to flip everything. Try, like you said, one lesson. And I guess it also depends on your philosophy. I curate videos too. I find other teachers who've made dynamic videos, and I'm like, why do I need to reteach this? If there's this awesome video I could use, and then I want to curtail it for whatever my population is and create questions, you can do that too. Some people are just adamant about, oh, I need to teach these. I need to be all my videos. But if you think about it, when you have a guest speaker in your room, the kids love that. Or if you create some variety in your videos for whatever reason, like my kids asked me to bring puppets in my video. I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, but I said I'm gonna try because the corniest video the kids love. Like those. At one time I had my daughter in my video or my dog was in my video. Those are videos they remember that stuff. They always say, "Can you do that again?" And I'm like, "Well, what about my other videos? Those are boring. Can you just stood up?" And so they came like, "Okay, you got to kind of lose yourself in your videos," which sometimes is hard for us to do, but that's what the kids like to see is the other side. So that's my suggestion. Have fun with it.
That's true.
I think one of the benefits for me that really helped me to solidify this is what I want to do day one is when I came back, we had 2 weeks before the dreaded standardized test, and I still needed to, cover some things. So I kind of continued with that model with the station work, and I was a station, so I got a chance to talk to small groups, 5 or 6 at a time, and kids that had never done anything were giving me the right answers. I was blown away. I think one of the largest benefits from it is the individualized time that you have with students. They're working, and you can do the one-on-one with them, or 3-on-1, 4-on-1. For me, it was 6-on-1, and I'm telling you, I had girls that I thought were like nothing, and they gave me the information. So the small group, the individualized piece is so important, I think, because kids that won't talk in a class of 24 or 25 or 30 will talk in a group of 6. And we tend to overlook students sometimes, those that just kind of play under the, hang under the radar. The best ones get our attention, and the worst ones get our attention. And so it levels the playing field for them. So I was able to make some connections, and I hated it was the end of the school year. So now I'm really determined to start day one. Any other pressing thoughts, questions, concerns?
I think one of for me, the biggest, takeaways from this year is to have multiple streams of access for your videos. So I had videos in YouTube. We also use Edmodo, and then I also created iTunes U course. But then my other backup plan was to burn them to a DVD. And that's the other thing, when you're thinking about what software to use in terms of creating your videos, you have to think about where you're allowed to export your videos to. And that's the reason why I like Camtasia and Snagit, is because they give you multiple options of where you can send your videos, whereas, software, certain places you have to go to their website to access their video. Or, they only let you export it, to one place, whereas, Camtasia and Snagit, they let you do anything with the video. So that's one thing that I took into consideration when I created the videos and decided what software I wanted to use. Because in that way, you know, if for whatever reason they can't get to it on Edmodo, you can get to it to YouTube. You can make your YouTube channel, or you know, some of the kids, if you can export it to iTunes U and create an account, then if they have their devices, you can just plug them right into your computer and they can get them that way. So that was one of the things I would highly suggest, is think about where you're going to export and send your videos to, and make sure you have multiple streams to access it.
I would say too. Oh, I was just going to add real quick. Like for me, especially with my struggling students and my lower level students, I found that I needed to be very organized in the way that I curated my materials. The fewer clicks that they had to make to get to resources, the more that I kept them. So if I was asking them to make 2 or 3 more clicks, I lost half my students.
Right.
So having a very organized sort of online space where they knew where to find the handouts, the videos, the questions, that was really, really crucial.
And I hear Blend Space is really good for that.
Yeah.
I haven't used it, but a lot of people rave about Blend Space, so you might want to look in that.
For those of you who may be interested in Edpuzzle and are already Edmodo users, you can now embed those Edpuzzle videos directly into Edmodo, and the kids can even sign in from Edmodo, so it's not like it's taking them out to another site. So I'm really excited about that.
That's one of the reasons why I love Edpuzzle, the fact that they don't have to click away.
Yeah.
I love TED Ed, but they have to go to that site and Edpuzzle and then bring it all into your space.
Yeah. I like how they can't fast forward in Edpuzzle, so it makes them watch the entire video. It may not keep their head on the video. They may be watching something totally different. But at least for my record, they watched the whole video.
And the first time they saw the question pop up, they were like, wait, what?
Right. Wait, I have to answer a question? Yeah.
Oh, let me go back and actually watch it for real. Okay, I've shared the document. I'm getting ready to change the settings so that anyone, and I'm going to open it so that anyone can edit, and then that way, say you find another resource and you want to share with the group, you can just add it here. And does everybody see the link over on the side?
Yeah.
I got it. Thank you.
All right. Well, I think our time is up. I hope everybody enjoyed it and learned something. I know I did.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
On Twitter. All right.
We can go back. You can go back to the EdcampHOME website for the closing remarks and everything.
All right. Cool.
All right.
All right. Have a good evening. All right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care.
everyone.
All right.